Hi, welcome to LB0 Fox India Norwegian Ham Ventures. I'm Morten, LB0 Fox India. And what I got here is something you've seen all over ham radio YouTube the last week. It's the AILUNCE HA1UV from Retevis. And yes, I'm one of the plethora of YouTubers that have received this radio. And that makes this pretty hard. Because I'm going to be honest with you, this radio raises no emotional response from me. And it's not because it's a bad radio. It's a really good radio, but it's a 5-watt analog HT, which is really hard to review. But we're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to tell you why it's good. But first, the short kind of specs here. It is a 5-watt HT, got a big battery, color screen, built pretty much like a tank. I'm not going to say you get the Motorola feeling when you pick it up, but it's almost like it. It's like a brick, but in a good way, as Hayden over at Ham Radio DX said. Everything feels right. The rotary encoders, both the one for the channel selection and VFO wheel and the volume wheel, feels really sturdy. All the buttons feels like they're supposed to do. But then again, it's still a 5-watt HT. But let's bring it over to the bench, take a look at it, and we'll just do a quick overview here and talk a little bit about the radio while we look at it. And here's the radio. It is really sturdy built, and you'll see how sturdy it is when we remove the battery here. But let's just take a look at all the sides and what it looks like. On the front here, you got a speaker, and I gotta say, this is really loud. At about 25% volume, it's louder than I think I'm ever gonna need it. Then you got this color display. It's really nice. You can set it up to show 1 or 2 VFOs. I've set it up to show 1 VFO now because, well, it's basically what I do need though. I don't have a need for 2 VFOs. I rarely monitor 2 channels at the same time. You can see that the battery level is almost depleted, and that's because I've had this radio for a week now and I haven't charged it yet. So this is actually from relatively medium to heavy use for about a week. Then you have the keypad. Nothing special about that. Let's move on to the top here. And if we take a look at the top, you have 2 rotary encoders. You have the on-off volume switch, and you have a really nice clicky VFO memory wheel here. It gives a good tactile response. Then you have a programmable multifunction key here. I haven't programmed anything to it yet. If we go over to the side here, you have the PTT button, which is green, easy to see. It wouldn't matter actually because it's tactile. It's kind of got this texture to it so you can feel it easily, and it's big. I like big PTT buttons. Then you have 2 multifunction programmable buttons here. And on the other side, behind this cover, you have the speaker mic programming interface. And let me just find a screwdriver and we'll take a look at how that is. And this is actually a sealed cover, and there's a reason for that, because the radio is IP67 rated. It can be submerged into a meter depth for 30 minutes. A meter depth of water, that is. And probably any other liquid as well, but let's just call it water. So you got a Motorola type connector here. I've just used this for the programming cable. The software that comes with the radio, we're not going to go through that today, but that actually is something a little bit unique in ham radio wise. It does not look like it's from 1995 and programmed in Visual Basic. It looks more like it's programmed in PHP and from about 2003, so it's modern for ham radio software. And on the back here we have the battery and the belt clip. The belt clip is attached to the radio itself, which some people say it's a good thing. I rarely buy new batteries for the radio, so for my sake I couldn't care less about if the belt clip is connected to the battery or the radio. But here, if you want another battery, the belt clip is connected to the radio. You have a USB-C port here for charging, and then you have connectors for the charging cradle. We'll go through what's in the box in just a little while. And then on top here we have the antenna. A little bit of a stubby antenna, relatively stiff, but it's got a rubber seal, so it helps with that IP67 rating. And the antenna is something a little bit unique for Chinese radios. It's an SMA male antenna with a female connector on the radio. So it's opposite to what Chinese radios usually are. So if you have some fake Nagoya antennas, you might need to reconsider getting another one for this, or just using this stubby antenna. And that's pretty much the exterior of the radio. Let's go on to see what's in the box. And there's not really much in the box. It's this manual here. Relatively thick, but that's just because it's in an awful lot of languages. But real hams don't need manuals, and we're going to take a look at that later on, because I'm going to factory reset the radio and see if we can program a repeater into it. Besides the manual, you get the radio and the antenna. We've already taken a look at that. You get a charging cradle, which has a USB-C connector. You get a lanyard, which I never use with my radios. And you got a USB-C cable, which is the same greenish color as the PTT button. And that's all you get in the box. But then again, that's all you need. And that being said, I'm not going to do any spurious emissions test on it, because Smoking Ape has done that already, shown that the radio is clean. I'm not going to do a power output test, because Smoking Ape has done that already. And I'm not going to submerge it, because Jürgen over at Alpine Radio Waves has already done that. I got my radio a little bit later than a lot of the other reviewers, so I'm a little bit late to the party. What I want to do now, first of all, I'm just going to turn it off, and we're going to take a look at the battery. After that, I'm going to factory reset the radio, and we're going to try and see if we can program a repeater just from the keypad, and see how easy or hard that is, because that's the ultimate test for an HT. And what I also haven't said is that the price point of this radio is actually pretty nice. It's a $60 radio. There are some affiliate links down below. You also get a discount. There's a discount code. Let's try that again. There's a discount code down below as well with the affiliate links. If you look at the inside here, it's relatively sturdy. You got a thick aluminum shell, like Retevis radios usually have. I've already driven over one Retevis radio, and I have no doubt that I'll be able, if I should need to drive over this as well, and it'll survive just fine. But I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that, because even though this radio is sturdy, and even though it's boring and doesn't create any kind of emotional response with me, I actually like this radio. Because it's rugged, it does what it's supposed to do at a price point which is really nice. But let's go into the menu here and factory reset radio, and first of all, see if we can figure out where to factory reset it. There's a factory reset. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll see if we can program a repeater in here without the manual. I think that's the ultimate test of a radio like this. And we got to press the confirm key at least 4 times in order to do this. I didn't count, but it was at least 4. So we've reset the radio. Let's go ahead and see if we can program a repeater. First of all, let's see if we can get it in VFO mode. We're in VFO mode. So we got the local repeater right here. Then we're going to press menu, and I'm guessing it's in the radio menu. Let's just scroll down here. So we can get it so you can actually see the display here. And there's an option to save channel. Press that. We gotta type the name. Let's see how well I remember my old Nokia skills. Like this, press select, save channel. Yes, and this is going to save it to the first available channel. And that's not going to be channel 1 because there are a couple of channels saved already when you do this. But we're going to press exit, go into channel, and you can see it's saved on channel 5. Let's see if we can set all the necessary things. We've set the channel alias, so we're going to go to bandwidth, because in Norway we use narrowband FM. So we're going to select narrow. Receive frequency should be good. That is correct. And the repeater is -600. So 145,175. Select, save. Then we're going to select the correct tone. And we're not going to receive tone, so let's see if we can... That was not the right button. Here. And I'm guessing we're going to use the wheel on top. And that is actually correct. So we're going to just twist that until we get to 1, 2, 3. And we're going to save it like that. That should be good. And the rest are some options we're not going to do and fiddle around with now. So let's go all the way out, put it in channel mode, go to channel 5, and you can see here it's high power, it's narrow, 145,775, and it's a minus here, so it's a negative shift. And I'm not going to be able to open it from here, but let's take a look at the display nonetheless when I press the PTT. And you can see it transmits on 145, 175, and with a CT CSS tone of 123. So we managed to program a repeater from the front panel without the manual, and that's pretty good. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to hook it up to my Allstar node, and we're going to just do a parrot message here and see how the audio is both transmitted and received on it.
Node 40894 connected to node 54817.
And the radio is connected to the Allstar node to the HubNet parrot. So let's just give it a try and see what happens. This is LB0 Foxtrot India testing. LB0 Foxtrot India testing.
Playback.
This is LB0 Foxtrot India testing. LB0 Foxtrot India testing. And that works. Surprisingly enough, it works. We've programmed a repeater. We've now tested a simplex channel. We've gone through the hardware of the radio. So let's draw some conclusions and see if this is a radio worth its money. So, what do I think about this radio? This little cheap, rugged HT from Retevis. The HA1UV. As I said, it raises absolutely zero emotional response from me. It is a utility. It's an appliance. But for $60 US, you get a radio that's well built, well constructed, it's clean, it delivers on its power output, it's IP67 rated. You can probably drop it from 5-6 meters onto concrete. Just don't try that at home though, even though I said you probably could, because probably is the key word here. You can also probably drive over it with your car, as I did with the Retevis RT43 in a previous video. It's a good radio. It's as simple as that. And considering it's only $60 US, the cost-benefit ratio of this radio is extremely good. But it's not an exciting radio. What is an exciting radio, if I can find it here among everything, let's see, is this radio, the VGC N76, which is a more expensive radio. It's not as well built and well constructed. It's got its quirks. This is a fun radio. This has APRS, this is TNC. But it's not necessarily a good radio. It's a nightmare to use that VGC radio. Whereas this one, it's really nice to use. Two different radios though, two different use cases. I'm not going to say which is the better radio, but this is the more well-constructed and more rugged radio. And I like it. I really do like this radio. It's good. It's boring, but it's good. Links down below if you want to buy it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video and by any chance has watched this far, hit that thumbs down button. Let me know that you didn't like this video. That'll give me some pointers on my next video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Leave a comment down below. You know the drill. Affiliate links and discount codes for the radio down below. I actually managed to say discount code on the first try. Let's try that once again. Discount code. Okay, enough about that. See you guys down the bands. See you in my next video. 7-3, my friends.